The chance to make history and crack the top 25 for the first time in the Division I era is at hand for the Coyote women's basketball team. A win over the 10-1 Indiana Hoosiers of the Big Ten would put USD at 13-1 just days after they fell a few votes shy of making the Associated Press poll, and they certainly looked like they were on their way to a win in the first half. First quarter, after an offensive rebound, Coyotes find Allison Arns. She had 11 points. And USD led by 9 after 1. Lead stretches at double figures in the second. Kiara Duffy, nice pass to Chloe Lamb, the Sully Buttes alum, had 18. USD up 8, 34-26 at half. All Hoosiers, though, in the third. Jalen Penn beats the buzzer, and Indiana took a 49-45 lead. Fourth quarter, USD retakes the lead. The other Arns, Monica Arns, hooping the harm. She had made the free throw, and USD was up by 1. They just couldn't stop Allie Patberg. This 3 of her 25 points, as Indiana gets the victory 68-60, so the Coyotes conclude non-conference 12-2. Probably good enough to be ranked, but doubtful they will be after losing this one. Coyotes will open Summit League play against North Dakota State in Fargo a week from Sunday. Back in Vermilion, the Coyote men wrapping up non-conference play with a tough test against Southern Mississippi, who's coached by former Nebraska coach Doc Sadler. Some nice passing finds a cutting Tristan Simpson. He led the Yotes with 15 points. And coming off his 28-point performance at top-ranked Kansas, Stanley Amude, he cooled off just a little bit, though that's a pretty nice reverse. And USD had a cool 34-29 lead at the break. The Golden Eagles would draw even at 44-all when Amude splashes the baseline jumper as the Coyotes go back up by 2. Back and forth affair after falling behind by 1. It's Brandon Armstrong who gets a nice pass from Tyler Peterson. Yotes go in front by 1. Unfortunately, Todd Lee's team stalls the rest of the way. Southern Miss gets the steal and gets it ahead to Leonard Harper Baker. 3 names, 1 dunk, and 1 tough game for USD. They fall 66-60, and like the women's team, they will open against North Dakota State in Fargo. That game will be next Friday. Well, lost in the story of Yankton's first boys basketball state championship last season was how the Bucks took the hard road to get to the title. Yankton lost 7 games, was the 11th seed that started the Sweet 16 on the road, and then edged Harrisburg by 2 to win the championship. As we heard at 6, this year's Bucks want to position themselves better come March. The top-ranked Bucks entering tonight's championship rematch with Harrisburg at 4-0. They raised their championship banner, and it was Harrisburg looking to get a little revenge early on. They go in the post to Braden Phipps, who spins and goes off glass as the Tigers take the early lead. But when Chris Haynes needs an answer, he goes to the show, the Matthew Moore Show. He didn't have a man in his way. He would have dunked that. He only had 12 points tonight, but that draws the team even. The Tigers have some big buck hunters of their own this season, though. It's Nick Hoyt who'll step back and drain one from downtown, part of a 6-0 run. It gave the visitors a 6-point lead, but nobody shot better tonight from beyond the arc than Yankton. They would hit 11 threes. Here's Cooper Korneman, familiar name down in Yankton. A Korneman draining a 3. He had 13 points. The Bucks had a little more balance. They take it 68-59. In Sioux Falls, a top-5 showdown with second-ranked Lincoln heading west to battle third-ranked Roosevelt. It was a packed gym, and it was a great game. Lincoln led by 1.5, but lost leading scorer Jared Jarros to injury in the third. Maxwell Burchell with the runner as the Pats were up by 3, trying to hang on to that lead. However, Roosevelt gets on a 12-2 run, playing some great defense. Tucker Large coming up large and going to the hoop as the Riders take the lead. And they build it for the USD alum Mitch Begeman. It's Tyler Feldkamp with a nice pass. Buckets missed, but there's Feldkamp for the tip-in. Roosevelt led by 7 with 7:29 to go in the fourth when the Patriots, without their leading scorer, storm back. Sam Fawcett, the faucet is on. He led him with 14 points, and Lincoln brings the game even. Then with a $1:35 to go, they get it into Zach Hansen, and the Patriots improbably take the lead. Now they led by 2 with about 6 seconds to go. It's Rider basketball. They're going to give it to Large, who's going to drive into the lane. Look at Burchell just body up and play great defense. That never had a shot. And Lincoln gets in a dramatic win, 44-42. We hope their star Jarros is okay to keep playing. He suffered a pretty bad injury. Hope he gets back soon. Well, O'Gorman was 0-2 after losses to Roosevelt and Lincoln. Today they got off the schneid in a big way against Pierre. Third quarter, Brady Beck, who just signed to play football at SDSU, swats that shot away. The Knights fire it ahead to Zach Norton for the layup as O'Gorman goes up by 24. And check this out in the closing seconds. Off the miss, it's another future Jackrabbit football player, Canyon Bauer, ripping the rebound away and laying it home at the buzzer. It's 55-28 Knights after 3. Derek Roby's team also got a big game from Akoy. He had a big dunk in the first half, and here he steps back for three. He had 17 points, and well, this next shot kind of tells you what kind of day it was for Terry Becker's squad. They went nearly 10 minutes without a basket until James Meekinen ends that with a putback +1. Not enough, though, as O'Gorman gets their first win in a big way, 77-40. Well, before he wore the blue and yellow at South Dakota State, Zach Zenner grew up a Vikings fan in Eagan. This week, Zach's got a chance to help deal a crippling blow to his hometown team's playoff hopes. After initially being cut following an injury and returning to the Detroit Lions on November 9th, the SDSU alum Zach Zenner has steadily seen more playing time over the last 2 weeks, carrying 22 times for 99 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Zenner figures to get even more carries this week with Kerryon Johnson out against the Vikings. Now, Zenner could see the door open for more of a role next year with all this playing time, though he's certainly not focused on that.
Hard to say. Whenever my number's called, I'll be ready. If it's not called, that's, the direction they want to go in. And I think, too, you've seen in the games past, like, LG gets hot, Theo gets hot, KJ gets hot. You know what I mean? Those guys, you're going to give those guys the ball when they got the hot hand.
Well, Zenner's had the hot hand that game with the Vikings and Lions in Detroit on Sunday at noon. The Dakota Wesleyan women win out at West Palm Beach, where I'd really like to be right now. And the Timberwolves lose at San Antonio. We're back in one moment.